Good morning. I'm Rohan Dhameja from Bellarmine College Prep. My research uses explainable AI to quantify how socioeconomic factors such as education, income, and healthcare access contribute to comorbidities in autistic children. We pinpoint exactly which factors create the greatest impact, providing data driven insights for equitable healthcare policies. This isn't just identifying a problem, it's providing data to level the playing field for every child. Let me show you the core challenge. Meet Maya. High socioeconomic status, college educated parents, and quick specialist access. Now meet Sophia. Low socioeconomic status, limited formal education, and long wait times. This imbalance creates vastly different health trajectories. Children like Sophia experience delays in treating comorbidities like ADHD and anxiety, leading to poorer quality of life. This disparity is exactly what we are measuring. Let's take a look at the scope. Globally, autism affects 1% of the population. In the US, 2.8%, millions of families. And here's the critical data point: 70 to 95% of individuals with autism have at least one co occurring condition. ADHD affects 45 to 80% of autistic children, anxiety, 20 to 80%, sleep disorders, 50 to 80%, and epilepsy, 10 to 30%. When access to care depends on socioeconomic status, delays in treating these comorbidities becomes the primary driver of health disparity. My AI measures exactly which conditions are most impacted by family background. The statistics I just reviewed are merely the tip of the iceberg. The undermanaged comorbidities we see in data are symptoms of deeper systemic issues hidden below the waterline. This is where our research focuses its attention. The first critical area is the social influence gap. We lack data driven understanding of how poverty, prone education, and neighborhood resources actually impact health outcomes. We haven't been able to quantify their exact influence until now. This gap manifests as diagnostic inequalities. A child's location or family income dictates whether they receive timely intervention for epilepsy or anxiety. This imbalance is the core problem we must address. My explainable AI provides a tool to measure these hidden forces, because you cannot fix what you cannot accurately measure. So, to that end, I've developed a 5 pronged strategy, with each point aiming at a specific target. First, address health disparities, identify where exactly the system fails. Second, improve risk understanding, predict comorbidities early. Third, inform equitable interventions, tailored strategies. Fourth, characterize social factors, hard numbers on socioeconomic impact. And finally, leverage AI for interpretable, transparent insights. These 5 targets transform ASD care and ensure equity. My methodology moves from raw data to interpretable insights through 5 phases. Phase 1: data collection from the NSCA survey 2020 to 2021, yielding 2,508 ASD positive children. Our key SDOH variables include parental education, household income, insurance status, and healthcare access. Phase 2: pre-processing, labeling coding for categorical variables, and standard scaling for continuous variables like income. Phase 3: I tested 3 classification models: logistic regression, random forest, and XGBoost, with hyperparameter tuning to optimize performance. Phase 4: my specialized multi-output framework predicts all 4 comorbidities simultaneously: ADHD, anxiety, depression, and epilepsy, rather than training 4 separate models. And finally, Phase 5: SHAP analysis quantifies each variable's contribution. This pipeline ensures that my findings are both accurate and interpretable. The dataset consists of 79,182 total participants, with 2,568 ASD positive children as my focus. I utilized 2 numerical variables, age and family income, and 10 categorical SDOH variables to predict 4 binary targets: ADHD, anxiety, depression, and epilepsy. This comprehensive variable mix allows my multi-output model to rigorously test how socioeconomic factors influence each comorbidity. So moving to our exploratory analysis, understanding age distribution in the dataset. The cohort spans ages 3 to 17 years, with remarkably uniform distribution. Each age bracket consists of roughly 150 to 200 children. This balanced representation ensures that my AI models analyze socioeconomic impact without age-related bias. The second demographic analysis, income distribution across the cohort. The horizontal axis shows normalized family income from zero point 0, the lowest income, to 1.0. This standardization protects privacy and prepares data for the models. And the key observation is that it is a classic bell curve. The highest frequency clusters around the median, with fewer families at the extreme ends. This even normalized spread ensures that my AI models have sufficient data across the entire income range. This is critical. ADHD affects 94.31% of our cohort, nearly universal. Anxiety, 84.07%. Depression, 77.22%, and epilepsy, 69.51%. All exceed 60%. So this isn't rare, it is the norm. These high rates underscore why timely, equitable access is essential. This heat map shows correlations between SDOH and comorbidities. Blue colors indicate low correlation. This confirms why we need sophisticated AI. Simple methods can't reveal complex, nonlinear relationships that my models uncover. This slide summarizes two main things: the specific analysis I plan to run, and the actual raw correlation results I found using standard linear methods. These four charts visualize comorbidity distribution across socioeconomic categories. The striking pattern, the orange bars or presence of comorbidities, dominate across all groups. ADHD, anxiety, depression, and epilepsy show high prevalence regardless of SES, insurance status, parental education, or healthcare access. This universality sets the stage for my AI models to quantify how much these factors truly influence outcomes. We use the chi-square test to analyze relationships between categorical variables. This tool tests whether categorical variables like parental education and ADHD presence are associated or independent. A p-value lower than 0.05 indicates significant association, confirming if the socioeconomic factors truly link to health outcomes. Chi-square test confirms significant associations: SES and ADHD, parental education and depression, insurance, and epilepsy, all with p-values under 0.05. These findings guided my AI modeling. This slide visualizes comorbidity burden across socioeconomic and insurance groups. My hypothesis was that disadvantaged families might carry higher burden. The finding is remarkably consistent across all groups. Median 3.0 comorbidities per child, whether high, middle, or low SES, whether public, private, or uninsured. The burden is high for everyone in my cohort. To quantify socioeconomic influence, I evaluated three distinct ML models. First, logistic regression, the interpretable baseline giving clean mathematical answers, such as does public insurance increase epilepsy odds? Then I used random forest, which handles complexity and ranks feature importance. Which matters most, parental education or neighborhood resources? And finally, XGBoost, a high accuracy powerhouse providing the most reliable predictions across all four comorbidities simultaneously. Each model ensures that my findings are both robust, accurate, and scientifically sound. This report summarizes performance across our three models using four critical metrics: precision, recall, F1 score, and Hamming loss. All models perform strongly. Precision around 81%, F1 score 0.89 to 0.9. But logistic regression stood out with perfect 1.0 recall, capturing every actual comorbidity case, and lowest Hamming loss at 0.187. So the conclusion? Logistic regression is our most optimal model for analyzing socioeconomic influence. I conclude with the most critical findings: the SHAP analysis. This is where explainable AI provides transparent, quantifiable insights. So how do you read these plots? The vertical lines at zero point 0 is the baseline. Dots to the right increase comorbidity likelihood, whereas dots to the left decrease it. Blue dots represent low values, low income or low education. Red dots represent high values. So beginning with epilepsy, blue dots, low income, cluster on the positive side, increasing risk. Red dots, high income, push negative, decreasing risk. Education shows the same pattern. For depression, it is very pronounced. Blue dots, low parental education, dominate the positive side. Low education strongly predicts depression risk. And finally, ADHD and anxiety. There's less clear separation. Income and education are relevant, but they do not have the same strong, consistent impact. So, in sum, low socioeconomic status, specifically low income and low education, is a major contributing factor for epilepsy and depression risk, with measurable but less consistent impact on ADHD and anxiety. This provides the actionable insights needed for targeted, equitable healthcare interventions. However, I must acknowledge three key limitations. First, cross sectional design. The NSCH represents a single time point, preventing an establishment of temporal or causal relationships between social determinants and comorbidity development. Second, self reported data. Parent reported responses may introduce recall bias or reporting inaccuracies. And third, absence of clinical and biological variables. The dataset lacked detailed medical, behavioral, or genetic information, limiting my ability to assess biological mechanisms underlying the comorbidity patterns. These limitations guide my future research directions. My study opens critical avenues for future investigation, including six primary directions. First, longitudinal analysis, tracking children over years to establish how duration of socioeconomic disadvantage affects health trajectories. Second, biological and environmental factors, integrating genetic markers, pollutant exposure, and clinical assessments to decouple socioeconomic influence from biological predispositions. Third, advanced modeling, testing deep learning to uncover subtler patterns. Fourth, explainability enhancement, refining SHAP for pediatricians and policymakers. Fifth, cross cultural validation, applying my methodology to international datasets. And sixth, finally, policy simulation, modeling interventions like universal health insurance before real world implementation. These directions move my research from analysis to actionable implementation for health equity worldwide. Everything I've covered today is available for you to explore interactively. To make these findings accessible beyond this presentation, I've built an interactive dashboard that brings this research to life. You can scan this QR code or visit the link to explore the complete analysis yourself. I encourage you to try it out, and I'm happy to answer any questions. The dashboard allows you to interact with the data visualizations I've discussed, test the predictive models with your own inputs, and dive deeper into the SHAP analysis results. And for those interested in the technical implementation, the complete code and models are open source on my GitHub repository. Thank you.